So we get here. And, I've never stayed at a bed and breakfast before with my whole family.
Wait.
Have you ever stayed at a bed and breakfast? It's very strange.
Once, but I hated the shit out of it because, like, the people that owned it were there, like, trying to be our friends.
Well, no, that's what a bed and breakfast is.
I don't like that. I don't want to be your friend.
Nope.
And
you're staying in their home.
And I'm like, they don't sleep during the night, and the couple's old. I'm like, people here probably sleep.
Oh, so you brought your kids?
So yes, well, in New York.
Oh,
this is an East thing. Whatever.
Well,
but I'm like, everybody, shut up.
Yeah.
In these tiny beds, shut up.
It was a very interesting experience. We have never stayed at one before, so we get there and we realize that this particular bed and breakfast was built in 1785.
Nice.
The house was still pretty much, with like probably very, very minor upgrades, but it was still the original house.
Creak.
The floors were like on an incline. None of the doors closed.
That's like my house.
It was kind of like your house.
Yeah.
No, your house was...
No doors latch or lock.
No. Well, that's why your kids see you naked all the time. What do you expect? Although they don't close all the way, but they did have like the little metal hook that
we have some of those here and there. Yeah.
So, yes. So the same thing. Because of COVID, these people were like, so normally, like, we give you the bed and then we give you the breakfast. That's what we do. But because of COVID, we can't make you breakfast.
No food.
So we can put out
not even in the lame little styrofoam? No,
they did. So she said, so what we can do is we can put out things that you can serve yourself with, like the little single cup of Honey Nut Cheerios.
Okay.
Or,
But they're not making you bacon.
No. And I'm like, so are you still charging us the same amount of money per room? And they're like, yes,
here's your Honey Nut Cheerios.
Here's your Honey Nut Cheerios and a rotten banana. Enjoy. I was
Did you bring a flask at least?
As long as I have coffee, I did not. Like, as long as I have coffee and, I'm good. So, same thing. The couple was kind of, they were out there with us. The guy was out there. The husband talking to us constantly. It was a beautiful home. They also have a farm, so they host.
That's how ours was too.
They host country style weddings there. It's on a huge piece of property.
Have, like the pigs that if they were serving sausage and bacon that they would have like...
Well, we would have eaten their chickens' eggs.
That's how ours was. That's how in New York. Mm-hmm. Isn't that...
Yeah.
We should get one of those little farmette things.
Yeah.
But for us.
I know.
Not for other people to stay at. Just for us to have.
I am not down with staying with other people. That is not my thing.
No, we don't want to be friends with you.
No.
Don't make me be nice.
No. And the guy, like, he was really nice and everything, but I was kind of like, and I'm done talking to you now. Mm-hmm. He just kind of hung out a little bit too much. Yeah. And, like, one night I got done taking a shower.
Want to play Parcheesi with me for 5 hours?
Yeah, I know. One night I came downstairs and I had just showered, but I was sitting out on their deck area, and he comes out like immediately and he's like, "So you just take a shower?" I'm like,
Hey, he waited longer than you just turning off the water, though. Oh my God!
There's a difference between your child and an old man that you've never met before.
Well, what was the thing where the extra what?
So we stayed there for five nights. About the 4th night that we were there, the couple that lives there came out on the deck and they're like, so I just want to let you guys know. Now my whole family is sitting out on the deck. We went to the store. We bought all this food and we were just sitting out on the deck enjoying dinner. And they're like, we just want to let you know that the Travel Channel did an entire piece on our property on the bed and breakfast, and they were here filming recently.
Really?
And so we were all on TV, and my daughter was on TV, and they did this whole thing, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So I thought they were doing like a historical piece on the fact that what they had found was this particular house was a safe house for the Underground Railroad, which was really cool because they were saying, on the East Coast when the slaves were escaping slavery, that this house was originally a safe house.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. So I really loved this whole history part of it. My kids are really interested in it.
Yeah,
and
I know. You
loved
guys
listening
love
to
all
this
of that
story.
stuff.
Yeah. But then she went into the fact that the show that was on the Travel Channel was the Ghost Brothers. And so they found...
That's the show that the house was featured on, was called The Ghost Brothers?
The Ghost Brothers is a show on the Travel Channel.
Okay.
And they came and did a piece on the fact that that house is completely fucking haunted. And there's ghosts all over, and they found dead bodies in the back of the property in open graves where you could see that the property was...
Where they had escaped to go and, like, be zombies to people?
No, I think they were bodies of slaves from many years ago.
Why were they open?
You know what? This is so long ago
Because they didn't tap their bourbon down to get rid of the spirits? Can spirits open a grave?
I was so wishing
With their
that
magic,
I
they
had a tap to get rid of all those.
Did they show you the graves? Were they still there?
I was like, yeah, I don't really want to walk back there. Because, like, at that time that he was telling me, it was, like, foggy, and it was, like, after
time
sunset.
for those spirits to start rising and rallying.
Yeah, they had archaeologists come out there and determine that there were, in fact, dead bodies under the ground, and you can see that the ground had been like there were kind of dips in different parts of
for the bodies. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a haunting while you were there? Did somebody move your Honey Nut Cheerios across the table
I
slowly?
did not. I'm so glad that they told us this, like,
right
the night before
you
we
left.
were leaving.
So you only had one shitty night of sleep and unrest.
I was like, if she would have told me this the first night, I would have been camping.
Wait, did you notice anything? Come on, think. Somebody turned off the water on you? Howling noises?
Yeah, it was the noises. So it was a lot of noises. I would hear a lot of, like, weird animals, which I thought were animals, or I would hear, like, there was one night when I had a huge trouble sleeping, and my daughter and one of my boys was sleeping in one of the other rooms. This particular room that they were sleeping in was one of the main focuses of this ghost episode that was on the show.
That's too scary.
So, as it turns out, the story of this couple that lives there, she had a husband, her first husband that had passed away 10 years ago.
The couple that's there now.
Yes. Her first husband passed away 10 years ago.
Yeah.
She is remarried. So this is the couple that they're the innkeepers now. Mm-hmm. And she truly believes that her ex-husband's or her deceased husband's spirit is trapped in that house.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And she still wants to live there?
Yes.
They are weird then.
So another one was that there was a little boy, that spirit that lives in their basement. And get this. So eventually when they had the archaeologists come out and assess the property and whatever, they found a femur. A femur of a child.
All the deaths? Why did everybody die there?
They're saying that he was probably a child of a slave, or
oh my God! Good job, Briggs. What is wrong with you?
I didn't know this before we went.
I'm blaming it on you. That's horrible. So I'm scared now.
So now in the morning, she's like, "Yeah, I can't make you breakfast," but then in the morning she would come out and she'd have her apron on, and she's like.
You're like, is that you, or are you a ghost woman?
She would be like,
me breakfast.
Would you guys like some muffins?
No.
So my son Chase.
I would like some magic potion voodoo to keep spirits away.
My son Chase is 15. He goes, yeah. So this place. This is when we walked in there. This is before we even knew the story. He's like, this place is totally like The Conjuring, that movie.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, stop. Like,
did
this
The
is a
Shining happen
place.
in the East too? See? The East is haunted.
It was really, really crazy.
That's scary as shit.
So Jimmy's like, my husband's like, well, we should, like, let's look up this episode. Well, mind you, we had no internet.
Right.
We had no internet service in this place, right? So that was creepy too, because
ghosts can cut phone lines too. Oh. You've seen Thriller.
You're pushing it, Dodson.
That's horrible. That is